What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com, coming to you to talk some Monday Night Football between the Ravens and the Rams. Before we get going, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button to this channel. You'll be notified of every time we put up absolutely free video and information, so please hit that. Also, hit the thumbs up button on this video and let us know in the comments how you are going to play this Monday Night Football game, Ravens at the Rams here. Really interesting game here. We've had some good primetime games as well on the slate this week, so looking to finish out the week strong here. Really good week overall for us if you've been listening to the plays that we have been suggesting here. Guys, Ravens at the Rams, head over to thelines.com. You just click on this NFL tab and you click on MNF, Monday Night Football, and you will come to this little page right here. Let's take a look at the lines over here at DraftKings. 3.5, 47.5, and then 160 on the money line if you want to take the Rams straight up. 182 there for the Ravens. Over on FanDuel, sitting at 3.5 as well. 156, 180 if we're talking about the money line odds here, and 47.5 there as well on this total. Let's talk about the weather. It's Los Angeles. No weather to talk about. It's LA. We don't have to worry about anything over there. It's going to be perfect. Ravens 8-2 overall, 5-5 against the spread. They're coming off of a bye. Last time we saw them, they were just completely nuking the Texans. If you guys remember that game, been a couple weeks, but yeah, that's still fresh on my mind. That was crazy. Rams 6-4 overall, 7-3 against the spread, coming off a pretty solid win against the Bears. As far as injury news goes, and I will scroll a little bit here as we continue going if you want to read along. Michael Pierce, he's a defensive lineman for the Ravens, is doubtful in this game, so there is that at least. On the Rams side, we're going to monitor this Robert Woods situation. He was away from the team for personal reasons. Sean McVay said he was going to play, and then now he's backtracked a little bit on that and said that they will see. I expect him to play, but again, you know, personal reason stuff, I'm not going to say that he's definitely playing there. I'll scroll up here if you guys want to read along. Ravens offense, 34.1 points per game, 437.7 yards per game, 6.4 yards per play. They are rushing the ball more than they pass the ball. 53.5% of the time are they running the ball, just to let you know how much they want to run the ball there in Baltimore. Number one graded pass blocking unit according to Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus also likes their pass offense, number 6 overall. Number 5 ranked pass offense by DVOA. I mean, just every single one of their offensive categories. Number 4 rated run blocking. Number 3 graded rush offense by Pro Football Focus. Number 1 ranked rush offense DVOA. So rush and pass offense, both of the metrics, Pro Football Focus and DVOA, love this team. They're averaging 234 through the air and 203 on the ground per game, converting 49.1% of their third downs. So nearly getting half of their third down conversions. Rams offense on the other side here. Scroll a little bit for you. 24.3 points per game. They're averaging 378.2 yards per game and 5.7 yards per play. They actually pass on 60.4% of downs here. So you can see they're more in line with what's going on in the NFL these days. 29th best pass blocking grade, according to Pro Football Focus. 28th run blocking grade, according to Pro Football Focus. We look over here on DVOA. 20th pass offense DVOA, 16th ranked rush offense DVOA. So you can see this offense has just not really been getting it done. And this offensive line specifically has not been getting it done for the Rams. And Jared Goff, I mean, yeah, he's looked like a deer in headlights a lot of times this season, but the dude's been running for his life and experiencing all kinds of pressure as well. So, offensive line's really going to have to step it up in this game. They're throwing for 280.6 pass yards per game and only 97.6 rush yards per game. They convert 35.9% of their third downs. If you guys are looking at the pace, and I'll flip over here to Play Picks. If you want to take a look, you can see the Monday Night Football breakdown right here on Play Picks. That is absolutely free as well, so you can read along with this one and see how we are looking over here. Ravens 23rd in situation neutral pace. They are 5th in situation neutral pace over there for the Rams. So one slow team, one fast team. So probably the Rams run a couple fewer plays. Probably the Ravens run a couple of extra plays, but no real No real change here in anything like that. It's not going to be one of those things where it's two super fast-paced teams and we can expect this thing to just go absolutely bonkers. On the Ravens side of things, defensively, they're only allowing 19.6 points per game and 349 yards per game, 255 through the air, 94 on the ground. Number 16th rated defense overall by Pro Football Focus, actually. I think that maybe this Ravens defense was catching a lot of flack at the beginning of the year here, and probably rightfully so, but you can see that they've really kind of changed things around. However, what we are looking at here is they are much better in some aspects than other. Number 10 ranked defense by DVOA. They're 3 against the pass DVOA, but 25 against the rush DVOA. So they're certainly getting it done through the stopping stuff through the air, especially since they traded for Marcus Peters. Jimmy Smith got back for this team. So as a whole, they're giving up 5.6 yards per play. Opponents are converting 40.6% of third downs. On the Rams defensive side here, I will continue to scroll. Allowing 19.8 points per game, 341.8 yards per game, giving up 252.7 through the air, 89 on the ground. Second rated defense according to Pro Football Focus. This Rams team has really been getting after it on the defensive side of the ball kind of quietly here. Number 2 rated pass rush according to Pro Football Focus. Number 3 rated coverage grade according to Pro Football Focus. Number 8th overall defense DVOA. That comes by way of 17th against the pass and number 3 against the rush. They are allowing opponents 37.7% of third downs. All right, guys, so let's take a look here at how we want to play this game. We'll come over here to DraftKings, and we're still sitting at 3.5, 47.5 over here. Let's make a case for the under if you're leaning towards the under. The Ravens have played the second easiest schedule of opponent defenses according to Sharp Football stats over there. So basically, they have played a team, even though they're averaging 34 points per game, they've actually played some fairly easy defenses. Yeah, you can throw the Patriots defense in the list of teams that they played, but outside of that Patriots defense, played a really, really easy schedule of defenses here. So maybe they get up against a real defense here, score some fewer points here. Opponents have scored on 19.3% and a touchdown on 10.5% of their possessions against the Rams since week 6. So they've only scored 20% of the time of possessions against this Rams team. That's second lowest in the league, and they've only scored a touchdown on 10%. So 1 out of every 10 drives here, they're scoring touchdowns on this Rams defense. So that could certainly keep this game under as well. If we want to play the over 47.5, I think it's fairly easy, right? It's the highest scoring team in the league in the Ravens. So they just continue to roll. Doesn't matter that they're playing a good defense here. This team just continues this momentum, and they scored a ton of points in this game. Also, you look, Jared Goff going to be able to maybe back home. We don't like playing golf on the road. We don't like playing golf as against these teams. It would create a ton of pressure and stuff like that. And so when we kind of take a look at this, we step back and we see that this is a better situation for Jared Goff as well. Also, Baltimore leads the league in scoring rate, and touchdown rate per drive. So there's a lot of things if you want to play the over that could lean you towards the over as well. The Ravens might get there in the majority of the way themselves, and then the Rams only have to do a little bit to get you over the 47.5 number here. On a prop side of things, and I do have a couple in my account here, so hopefully these come through, and hopefully we can win some money on these things. Been doing pretty well with the props. If you guys have been following here, games have been playing out a lot like we thought. So I'm scrolling down here to total rushing yards, and I am first and foremost going to play the under on Mark Ingram at 53.5. The Rams allowing only 3.3 yards per carry. Also, if you see Gus Edwards is listed here, I think he's going to eat into the carries for Mark Ingram as well. So you can see me on the under of 53.5 for Mark Ingram. And this one I'm not incredibly thrilled about. I'm not over the moon about. I only played this for about a third of a unit, a little bit more than that. But I'm going to play the under on Lamar Jackson at 70.5. And I know it's scary as hell. And I understand when he goes over this number, he blasts over this number. However, he has been at 70 or below in 6 of the 10 games so far this year. So I know it seems like he's going out there and every single week running for 100 yards. It's not really that. It's just when he does run for 100 yards, he actually runs for like 120, 130, 140, 150. But he's been under 70, under 71 here in 6 of 10 games so far this year. I mean, 70 yards, guys, is a friggin' like running back number. I mean, you can see Ingram and Gurley is listed at 63. Ingram's listed at 53. And you got Lamar Jackson listed at 71. You know, he'd have to get to 71 yards in this game. I'm just going to play the percentages here. Really good defense that he's going up against. Hasn't gotten to 71 yards in 6 of 10 games as it is anyway. And just 71 yards for anybody, even a running back, is just a ton of yards here. Going to play the under in this one and feel pretty good about it. Of course, he'll probably go out there and run for 200 yards tonight or something like that. But, I'm going to take this Rams defense and I'm going to take the percentages here of him under on that. You look at the offensive line as well. I mean, the Rams defensive line against the Ravens offensive line is also a mismatch. And so just really, really do like that prop right there. So I'll be on a couple of those, guys. Let's head over here to the game lines and see how we're going to go about this thing. Let's talk about the sides and totals here. First and foremost, a pretty strong lean to the Rams, plus 3.5 here. I think this is the very top of the market for this Ravens team, probably rightfully so. I mean, look, they've looked like absolute world beaters out there, but they are heading on the road. They are going to this Rams defense, and this is a legitimate Rams defense. We hate playing Goff on the road. Goff back at home, and particularly we hate playing Goff against teams that create pressure on him. And guys, there's a difference between pressure and blitzes. Blitzes just means quarterbacks need to get the read and get rid of the ball quickly, because when you're blitzing, you're bringing an extra person, which means one of your guys in theory should be open somewhere. It's just you have to find that guy quickly and get rid of the ball quickly and deliver an accurate throw. The real issue is quarterback pressure, where you're not even bringing extra people, but you're still getting at the quarterback and you have all your guys out there covering. Well, that's where Jared Goff really struggles, is when there's a ton of quarterback pressure. Well, fortunately for him, this Ravens team is one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to quarterback pressure and pass rush. So a lot of things working in favor of Goff, kind of getting his stuff together here and actually putting together a decent performance. Also, he does get back Brandon Cooks, and that adds a completely different dynamic to this offense as well, bringing in that burner, that over the top guy. So at least they have to guard for that, right? And then that opens up stuff more underneath for the Cooper Kupps, the Robert Woods, should he play. Again, we're going to keep a monitor, an eye on that. Gerald Everett as well, even getting the running backs involved in the passing game as well. So getting Brandon Cooks back, I don't think can understate what it does for this offense as well. So pretty strong lean here to the Rams at 3.5 here. We can take a look at how this line has gone here. One of the cool things about DraftKings, of course, you can click that stats and then betting trends, and you can see where this line has really just kind of stayed where it's at here. Opened at 3.5, down to 3 for a little bit, and then has been at 3.5 for a long time here. That total where we sit at 47.5 has steadily climbed just a point up there, opening at 46.5, and has moved a point right there. As far as how I'm going to play this thing, really the one that's already in my account, I'm taking the under 47.5 here. I think it's pretty, you could probably tell by the way I was talking about this game that that's the way that this was going to go. But look, this Ravens defense has been exponentially better over the last month or so of the season here. When they traded for Marcus Peters and then they got Jimmy Smith back, then you're able to move Marlon Humphrey over into the slot. You actually have one of the very elite pass defenses in the entire league right there as far as coverage goes. You have 2 really good corners and probably the best slot corner in the league right now. So you are looking at a team that can really, shut one of these other teams down here when they go to throw the ball. So really like the way they've gone. Since acquiring Marcus Peters, this Ravens team is only allowing 5.4 yards per pass. They were allowing 7.7 yards per pass before they got Peters here. You can see just an exponential difference that he's made in this defense. And I do like the fact that Goff did get some weapons back and all of that, but that does not mean at all that I think he's going to have a field day here by any stretch of the imagination. So and of course, whenever you look at this, we saw Ravens much better against the pass than they are against the run. You would think that Sean McVay would want to try and get this run game going here to try and maybe, be able to where they can run some play action and stuff and whatnot. We've seen that play action can work even when you're not running the ball a lot, but certainly can if you can probably will help you fool the defense a little bit more if you are actually running the ball successfully and then run some play action passes here. Then you look at the Rams side of the ball. The Rams have only allowed, Rams defense here. Rams have only allowed 12.8 points per game over their last 5 games here. Really coming into their own. Aaron Donald still playing like an all-world dude here. Rams ranked first in the league defensively in rate of runs that fail to gain 5 yards and runs that fail to gain 10 yards. Well, what does this Ravens team want to do? They want to run the ball. They run the ball more than any team in the league here. I actually think this Rams defense might be the most equipped to face a guy like Lamar Jackson that he has faced all year long and maybe that he will face in this entire season here. An unbelievable offensive line. You've got some athletic linebackers here. You have guys in the secondary that can cover because you have Jalen Ramsey. So it's even when Lamar Jackson's kind of doing his thing or something, you don't really have to worry about, Hollywood Brown just running free or something like that because you do have Jalen Ramsey back there who can cover as well. I think there's a lot of elements to this Rams defense here that could present some challenges. I'm not going to say shut down Lamar Jackson because we don't think that that's going to happen, but certainly present some challenges to Lamar Jackson here. And I think that the Rams, aren't going to be able to score really at will either here. 47.5 is a whole lot of points here, especially a team that loves to run the ball like the Ravens do. Clock, tick, 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 tick. And then the Rams struggle on offense as well. My big play in this game is going to be on the under here. We hit the under last night as well. In Sunday Night Football, looking to keep these rolling here. Hopefully this game script plays out like I think. And all of our props hit. All of the bets that we're looking at hit as well here, guys. But just a lot leading me towards the under in this thing whenever I really dig into this Rams defense here. And look, don't even hate it. I know had a buddy of mine hit me up and say, what if I played a single game teaser here of Rams and under? So he wants to play at 6.5, get the Rams up to plus 10 and get this thing up to, what would that be? Let's see, 48, 54. Don't hate that. But, again, I'm just going to play it straight up. And again, I'll probably have a small little bit on the Rams here at 3.5 as well. I just really and truly believe, as bad as Goff has played, being at home against a team that doesn't create any pass rush whatsoever and doesn't get any pressure on him, he could actually find a little bit of success, enough success to keep this game within a field goal, which is what we're looking for. Guys, as always, hope you enjoyed the content here, and hopefully it leans you to however you want to bet this game. I'm just trying to give you as much information as humanly possible so that you can make the decision that you want to make down the line. I mean, a lot of you probably have an idea how you want to bet the game anyway, or just looking for some sort of confirmation. So hopefully all these stats, all these different things that I'm looking at here can help you get to the conclusion that you wanted to kind of get to anyway whenever you're watching these videos. So please like this channel. Really do appreciate all the support, guys. We're been growing this thing pretty well here. So everything we do at Play Picks and the Lines is absolutely free. So we'll certainly keep putting stuff on this channel as well along the way here. So be sure and head over to the Lines and Play Picks and take advantage of the written stuff as well. Let us know in those comments how you're playing this game. Very, very interesting. I'm going to love watching the game regardless, guys. It's going to be awesome. Even if we end up losing the bets here, going to be an awesome game to watch. Going to have fun tonight doing that. See you guys we're actually going to have a special video here. I say that. So we're actually going to have a special video for the Thursday football games, for the Thanksgiving Day football games. So be sure and keep an eye out for that as well. See you guys on Thursday.